So in a minute, I'm gonna post a video of the. It appeared to me that it was the one of the county guys trying to lay out whatever for his big road project or whatever. Which it looked like it was actually a asphalt company, but like I said, who knows? Because they can hide behind the cowardly, satanic, evil perception of coincidence. That's what they all think they've got. Which, if somebody really wanted to come out and expose this as a crime, or wanted to actually carry forth some charges with it, it wouldn't be hard. You know, they use Google Earth to solve murders. They use all this technology to solve all these big crimes, but maybe it's only the crimes they want to solve. So you know what? You know, somebody like me that's honest, that tells the truth, that would like to go to work and pay his bills and provide. I guess I'm a threat to somebody, which I'm only a threat to you if you're a dishonest liar. You know what I mean? Like I've got a sketchy past myself. You know, I really don't. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm not what they say they are, but I guess it's convenient to them that for the sake of what they're trying to do, I am what they say that I am. So, I don't know. But like, you see how all this is laid down back here? This is what my fourth video, part 4 of the Gangstalking exposure dossier. So anyway, see how all my trees are just laying themselves over. Kind of interesting, ain't it? Oh, they're just laying out, ain't they? You're just somebody ugly came back here and they just all uprooted themselves and laid down, huh? But you know, I know this is y'all's first time seeing it, or y'all might have caught some of it in the earlier videos, but you know, you can't really see it like I see it, you know. And you know, and that would actually, somebody with a little bit of common sense would actually say, well, there is something to that, because why is the guy going back there and videotaping stuff that, and see, look at all this, it just goes in one big circle, you know what I mean? Like, they leave stuff to try to, you know, well, I mean, who do they think they're fooling, you know what I mean? It's like, if you want to know anything at all, it's not stupid, it's not just a coincidence, it's absolutely real. And all this does is reinforce it for me. So they cut all this down and they stick it back up in there to try to say, oh, well, look, you know, but I don't know what they're trying to accomplish, you know. Maybe this is just part of the harassment, or maybe it's actually got something more deceitful to it, but I don't know. But they tear all this down. And you know, another thing that I think is where we're going to in a police state is, you know, like what did they sign, a $600 million bill late last year for the police state of America, militarization of police, which, you know, now they've got they don't really have cop uniforms, but they have what they call is VSA, which is Veterans Securing America. And in McCurtain County, a county with probably what, 15,000, if that, and that's pushing it. But more importantly, Broken Bow and Idabel, probably 2 towns with around 7,000 or 8,000 people. They have an organization called a non-profit, which is they're supplied with federal money. That's what it is, or federal influence. Veterans Securing America. Kind of odd, ain't it? Where would we need veterans securing? What are they securing? The meth houses? I see a lot of the meth addicts still running to and fro from the meth houses. You know, you don't see a lot of crime, and maybe that's part of their initiative. Hey, we're just not going to report a lot of the crimes, so then we can say, hey, it's working. So now we can keep funding going for those bills, and after we use up the 600 million, then we can ask them for $1 billion. We can ask them for $1.5 billion. We can keep this going, because ultimately what gangstalking is going to lead to, what the coronavirus is leading to, what all this is leading to, is the ultimate and utterly totalitarian control of America and the world. Because you have to take down America if you want to take over the whole thing. You've got to. They're using social programs, and what people don't realize is about domestic violence and all these programs. Hey, be out on the watch for somebody if you're quarantined with an abuser. You know what I mean? Like, don't you think if somebody's being abused that they're going to get out of there? No, don't tell me that they're in a situation where they can't leave. You've always got a choice to leave. Why am I saying that? Because the thing about it is, once they have funding for those things, if they say, hey, you know what, we got this 15 million that they gave us, we need to use up the other 2 million. Go find me some victims. They're going to go and they're going to push for people to be victims. They're going to go to schools. They're going to interview children without your knowledge. They're going to interview children of your family, your friends, your co-workers, anybody, anything you hear about. If people argue, they're going to hear about it. And you know what? They can push that. Once they get a child or a woman that just wants to go to work and wants to provide for their family, to say, hey, last year, 6 months ago, Daddy drank and him and Mama got in an argument. You know what I mean? Which nobody should be arguing, and nobody should really be, but this is America. This is still America. We still have the freedoms to do what we do. And as long as you ain't beating people up in your house or being mean to them, people have the right to work things out among themselves. People don't realize that. You don't take over a country by going in there and saying, hey, everybody on the ground, you're a slave, get in the back of the paddy wagon. There's what? 500 million people in this country? Probably more. You're not going to be able to come in here and take over these people. We have a firearm for what? Every man, woman, and child? Two, probably a couple firearms for every man, woman, and child in this country. You're not going to be able to come in this country and do that. You're going to slowly erode it. You're going to put in social programmings. You're going to slowly take away children out of homes. You're going to slowly take out men from their jobs. You're going to slowly make people, drive them to insanity. You're going to drive them to suicide. You're going to try to have them locked up for being mental, which they've already tried to do that to me. They've already tried to say I'm mentally ill. They've already tried to lie on me. The fact is, it's all lies. What I'm videotaping and what I'm saying, the things that I might be wrong about are just because I might be wrong. But they're small, minor details. In general, I guarantee you, I'd put everything on it that I'm 100% right about everything that I might be wrong about why or where they're doing some of the harassment things, but this isn't about them coming on my land and drilling some holes. This isn't about them stopping at my sewer. This isn't about my neighbor watching me. This is about what they're doing to the country that I love and the people that are being influenced, mind controlled, maybe bribed, harassed, or maybe even pushed to do what they're doing. I don't doubt that there's people out there that ain't enjoying harassing people and making their lives a living hell. I've known some of those devious people. I work in construction. I work with people that like to have power over people every single stinking day. I don't doubt that people like that don't exist. But I guarantee you there's probably some people that have seen what's happening to me and was going, boy, if I don't want that done to me, I better get with it or just go along. But you know what? I hadn't worked, and I've told you on my earlier videos that I hadn't worked in what? It's coming up, in a few more months it'll be a year. That little 5 weeks is all I've worked in months. And you don't see me going around following around people for a little old $50 gift card, for a little old bit of PayPal money. That you don't let the government put money in your pocket. That's too easy. That's too easy for people to do that. Because once you let them, what makes me mad is all these conservative type people going around complaining about people on welfare. And I agree, welfare can be a hindrance to the society. But welfare is ultimately there to help people. And that's where people get it twisted. There's going to be people that are going to abuse the system and everything that is done. But you know what? I'd even go to say that there's probably more people these days taking on these government state loans to keep their businesses running than there are people getting a little old chump change from welfare. And you really want to complain about being a Democrat or Republican? That's hypocritical of people. That is absolutely hypocritical of people. And they've even went as far to come over here and see things. They've taken things off my trailer, which I hadn't used since I got laid off from that other job, and they'll take it off and they'll just go out there and throw it in the yard. You know, and I need to hook up my camper to see what all still works on it, because you know what, lo and behold, my neighbor over there, he saw me over there videotaping a while ago, and I wouldn't doubt it if he didn't call that county guy to come out here. Oh, he's videotaping, blah blah blah. I heard him over there. He was on his phone the whole time I was over there. So he's one of my main problems, because he don't work. He just sits over and does dope all day long. He's watching me out of the screen door right now, like a coward that he is. But we need to pray for people like that. But like today, I'm on one, so I know, guys. You know what? My behavior isn't really that. I don't agree with it today either. But you know what? I'm gonna ask forgiveness later, because I'm a little sick and tired of it, and this is a way for me to vent. And like I said, you know what? If you've tried to do right, and you know the thing about gang stalking is, you know what? I wasn't really 100% gang stalked my whole life. I might have been. I might have just been too naive to see it. But you know what I would notice? I would always notice, I was always noticing like little things going on with society. And you know what? The thing that I've always noticed, and kind of my own really like perception that the Lord has put on my heart and brain, is that, you know what, the stock market changes, presidents change, you know, elected officials change, you know, society changes. It's going to. The one thing that I've seen that has just steadily been in decline is people and people's hearts, and maybe that's. And maybe, you know, and it's Orwellian, it's the 1984 type, you know, dossier. But, you know, that's where we've gone. And, you know, people, you know, and they've done it to where people actually just had to just fall in line. Because, you know what, even me, you know, back when I could work a good job and could provide for my family. But, you know what, that's another lie, that they created the perception and the actual problem of me sitting here at home. So you know what, what they do is they take the couple of things that is actually true. I am not working right now. The reason that I'm not working is something that they can lie about. So they can say, well, you know, well they weren't lying about him working. He is just sitting there all day long. Well, you know what? I got to get my truck fixed now, because they steadily. Every time I come out there to do something to my truck, it's messed with. They've messed with my truck. They've messed with my home. I even come out here about 2 years ago, and I was feeling something cold on my toes and feet. And I don't know why I heard this, but something told me DMSO. And I come out here, and there was like 3 or 4 people walking through those woods over there. Now, it was pretty grown up back then, but they were walking through the woods and looked like they had mud all over them, like they had been crawling up and under my house, spraying something on my feet. And my feet were getting like ice cold, like frostbite. And my air conditioner, I had turned it off, and it was kicking on and off all those times. And I think they were underneath my house, spraying something on my feet, because A trailer house, that's one of the easiest things. You know, all you got to do is cut the liner, and you can be right there at the footboards. And I've heard it sounded like people up and under there all the time. And I don't know how they're getting up and under there without me catching them, because I've shined that light up in there before, but I just hadn't caught them at the right time. That's what they've done. They've just that I don't know if it's Satanism or technology or what that's been assisting them. But my neighbor was even telling me, whenever we used to talk about, he used to tell me about the kinds of weapons they had. Hey, so he knows about all this technology and frequencies and all this mind control stuff and direct energy weapons they got, because my teeth have been hurting for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And you know what? Every time I leave the house, my teeth feel like they're not even hurting anymore. I come back home and they start hurting again. So you know what? You can mark that down to coincidence. I don't care, because I know the truth. And I might be wrong about a few minor details, but you know what? In general, I'm telling you the truth. And see, this is, and like I was saying about my dogs barking, see, like technically, people could be harassing my dogs from that side of the fence, and they're not trespassing. But the fact of the matter is, they're still breaking the law. If two or more people are conspiring against a citizen, that's a federal crime. And people need to be aware of this. Why? You know what? Even if this was happening to people that I necessarily didn't like, or I would consider my enemies, I wouldn't agree with it, because this is absolute torture. Not letting people work and then messing with them that they're at their house, because this is non-stop every single day, all the minutes of the day long. This is what happens every single day. I get harassed, my stuff gets vandalized, my home gets vandalized, my children are compromised. Everything has happened over here. People have been threatened, bribed, everything. They've wanted me to kill myself, and I've gotten messages on people commenting on my YouTube channel. The people that are over the Gangstalkers, they call them handlers. His title name was Chief Handler, and he was telling me how I'm nothing, and how I need to go get mental help, and how I've got persecutory symptoms and all this other stuff. Like he's diagnosing me like he's some kind of doctor or something. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna comment on somebody's YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Now they're sitting there bragging about what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like how big of a loser are these people? But you know what? There's where they put Miracle Grow down, y'all. See that? See all that dirt they filled in? I'm gonna make another video here in a little bit. I just wanted to kind of get a little bit of that off my chest. But hear this plane coming over? They're probably not gonna come over now I got this camera on. Hey guys, I'm gonna download this and I'll get another one started. Man, I appreciate it, y'all, and y'all just comment. I know my behavior today hadn't been the best, but I've been kind of down the last few days, and I just wanted to tell y'all, just it's this. I'm making it too much about me. I get it. I'm self-aware, but y'all just really if just ask the Lord to come into your heart. Ask Him to bless you and your family, and ask Him that whatever comes ahead, we need to stick together, and we need to be together, and we need to our mind needs to be on resisting these evils and resisting the devil, and we all need to come together in the name of Jesus Christ. Cover yourself with the blood of Jesus. He'll protect you. I promise He will. And even if the worst comes to worst one of these days, at least we'll be able to walk with Him and walk with His Son. I love y'all, and I'll make another one here in a little bit. I appreciate y'all, for y'all that are watching. Be safe.